Let's get it, baby. Hey guys, all right, today I'll tell you right now, I have my AGV Laguna leather perforated jacket on right now, and I'll tell you, this jacket flows a ton of air. I have the liner on, and I have a turtleneck underneath this jacket, and I tell you, I can feel air all through this jacket. So this is going to be an excellent spring, summer, and fall jacket, most definitely. I'm really liking it so far, and I was able to connect the jacket to my motorcycle pants because it has the zipper that goes around the entire jacket, 360-degree zipper, and it attaches to my pants well, so that way it basically turns turns it into a one-piece setup. So far I'm loving this jacket. I did have a size 44 before, and it was really tight, which is probably supposed to have it pretty tight, especially, you know, on the track. But on the street, I feel I needed something a little looser, you know, and the 46 is perfect. So you might want to take that into consideration if you're thinking about getting this AGV Sport perforated Laguna. AGV Sport Laguna perforated leather jacket. You may want to think about going a size up than you normally do, because they do tend to run a bit small. And when I did research on this jacket, reflected that sentiment in the comments, and you know, on like Motorcycle Superstore, Revzilla, and but hey, so far loving the jacket. It is a bit nippy right out here now. It's like 50 degrees, and it's kind of cool in this jacket. I probably should have worn my other jacket, but like I said, I didn't know how this jacket was going to perform and flow this much air. But that's all right. I'm only going to ride for probably about an hour, and maybe an hour or 2 hours today. But yeah, basically with this video, I just wanted to, you know, talk about my reasons for motovlogging, and to clear up and make some clarifications on some things that I've said in some of my videos in the past, because some of you guys, I think, misunderstood me. But as far as why I motovlog, the reason why I motovlog is not for fame, obviously not for fortune. The reason I do this is to convey information to new riders, because when you're first starting out, I mean, you don't know shit. You don't know really the difference between the bikes. You don't know what gear you're supposed to wear. You don't know how to go about getting your motorcycle license. You don't know, you know, tips to ride better on the street, to ride safer. There's so many things that I learned that I couldn't find out by just maybe searching on the internet, stuff that I wouldn't have known to look for. And I just want to let all the new riders, or help potential, or people that are interested in getting into motorcycling, to get somewhat educated on how to, you know, all the ins and outs of how to get started with motorcycling, and as far as gear, you know, all the stuff that I named. Because it just makes it so much easier for you guys. And, you know, I want to see more people get into motorcycling. You know, it's an awesome community. It's like a brotherhood. You know, most bikers that I come across are usually really cool. You know, really cool cats that'll, you know. So, but yeah, and but also as far as clarifications, I want to tell you, I know in my last video that I did, I talked about, I told you guys, you know, you don't need any more than a 600cc bike. You don't need a liter bike, you know. And I was just saying that if you want to get a liter bike, you know, stop making excuses why you need a liter bike and just go ahead and get the liter bike. You know, it's the same thing goes for with the 600cc bike. You don't really need a 600cc bike on the streets. You know, actually the 250 was fine. It just, you didn't get a lot of power, but, you know, it got around the city great, you know, and did okay on the highway. But, you know, just get the bike that you want and stop making excuses. Stop telling people that I get a lot of comments and people say, oh man, you need to step up your game and get the liter bike, that the liter bike is better because it has better torque down low, you know, as far as lowering the RPMs, and that's good for riding on the street. And you know, I get tired of hearing those reasons all the time and people trying to tell me what bike I should get. You know, I got the bike that I wanted to get. You know, if I wanted a liter bike, I could have got a liter bike. Really, to be honest with you, there's not really many liter bikes out there that I think are that attractive to me. Like the BMW S1000RR and HP4, those are hot looking bikes. I really like those bikes. I'm really attracted to those bikes, and who knows, maybe I might get one of those bikes. But as far as the CBR 1000RR, I'm not particularly attracted to its looks. It looks great everywhere to me, but the front fender, I hate the flat look. Supposedly they redesigned it for 2012, but it still looks small to me. You know, to me the CBR 1000RR, the new one, 2012, looks smaller than this CBR 600RR. And I don't know. It just, I saw a guy riding around out here with a CBR 1000RR, and I thought it was the new CBR 500 because it just looks so small. You know, it just doesn't have any road presence, you know, like a S1000RR. Now that has some road presence, man. That bike doesn't look as small as the CBR 1000RR. The CBR, you know, Hondas make the most reliable bikes. They make the best quality bikes, in my opinion. You know, and their bikes generally last the longest. You know, you'll see way more Hondas with over 100,000 miles than you'll see any of the other bikes. So, but to be honest with you, if I would have to choose a liter bike, I probably would end up going with the CBR 1000RR just because of the reliability and you know, the performance and all that you get with the bike. But like I said, the BMW S1000RR, you know, is a great bike as well. So I don't know, it'd be a toss-up between the two. But you know, I never said I don't like liter bikes. I'm not hating on liter bikes. You know, that's stupid. Why would I hate on liter bikes, man? You know, I'm just saying that I don't need the extra. I feel I don't need the extra power on a liter bike. This bike, to me, has more power than I need, to be honest with you. And this bike, the reason I say that is because this bike tempts me to speed. It really does. It's like dangling a piece of crack in front of a crackhead, you know? I'm a speed junkie. I love speed. I'm an adrenaline junkie, you know? I love doing 0 to 60 in 3 seconds and 0 to 106.5, 7 seconds on this bike, you know. And then on a liter bike, you get just a little bit. You get about a second faster on the liter bike. But there isn't a huge disparity between the liter bike and the 600cc bike. There isn't. Because this bike, the 2008 CBR 600RR, does the quarter mile, I think about in 10.8 seconds, and the 2012 CBR 1000RR does it in about I think maybe about 9.6 or 9.8 seconds. So we're talking about a full second faster, you know, which can be huge if you're racing, you know, drag racing. Obviously the CBR 1000RR is going to win. But it's not that big of a difference. It's not the same difference like, say, between the CBR 250R and the CBR 600RR, you know? So, you know, with the extra insurance that you have to pay for the bike, you know, You have to pay more for the bike too itself. It's just, to me, in my opinion, I don't need it, you know. And a lot of people like to say, okay, with the leader bike, it's gonna be faster. You're gonna get more torque on the lower RPMs than you are on the 600RR, and that's true. You know, it has more torque earlier in the RPMs than this bike, but this bike is powerful off the line too, man. As I showed you guys in one of my other videos, the bike does 0 to 60 in 3 seconds, man. And you don't have... Hey guys, you want to see the low end power on this baby? Here we go right here, baby. Ready? There you go right there, baby. You know, I ride mostly around town. Look at this here. I'm riding at what, 4,000 RPM here. I'm like in 6th gear, because the reason I do that is to help save gas. You know, and I also coast around town to help save gas, and that's how I'm able to achieve my 43 miles per gallon. And that's another thing that I wanted to bring up. You know, a lot of you guys have left some constructive criticism about as far as my coasting around town, and some of you guys are saying that coasting is dangerous. First off, I don't coast at high speed, and another thing is I generally coast no more than, say, 35-40 miles per hour at starting, because obviously you're slowing down once you start coasting. So, and it's usually, most likely, it's usually in a straight, it's going up to a stop sign or stoplight or any other stops. I just pull in the clutch, as you see here, pull in the clutch and coast to a stop. You know, and as far as going around corner, I know some of you guys have said that you shouldn't coast around the corner because you're going to lose some traction. It's not going to be as stable. I don't know, maybe going at a high rate of speed, maybe you're right. I don't know. I've never tested, because the only time that I actually coast going around the corner is because if I see that the road looks bad, looks sketchy, it looks like it has maybe some potholes or a lot of debris, leaves, gravel, you know, whatever on the road. What I do, and I generally, if I do coast around the corner, I don't go any more than about, I'd say maybe about 15, maybe 20 miles per hour maximum. And I slow down before, if I see the road is bad on a turn, I will slow down before the turn, pull in the clutch, and just coast maybe about, like I said, about 15, maybe 10 to 20 miles per hour, just to get past the road debris. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, I have a lot of experience with bad roads. I live in the Cleveland, not far from Cleveland. I often travel in Cleveland, and they have some of the most treacherous, shittiest roads in America. This is known. Just a couple of days ago, a freaking pothole swallowed up a car. You know, the roads are horrible out here. I've seen some atrocious roads. And I've tried all different riding techniques through them, and to me, the safest option is to slow down before the turn and to go slow through the turn and coast. That's if it's really bad. But like I said, most of the time I do not coast through turns. Most of the time, I'd say probably about 90 or 80 to 90% of the time, I just coast. Like, see right here, I'm getting ready to come up to a stop, pull in the clutch, and I'll just coast up to the light. And you want to click through the gears as you're slowing down. Now you want to make sure that you're in the correct gear, so that when you release the clutch, that you can, you know, if you're in an emergency situation, that you can, you know, crank the throttle and you'll have power to get out. You don't want to be coasting and then you're like at 5-10 miles per hour and you're still in 6th gear and you need to let out the clutch. It's not going to take off fast, and that could be a safety issue. That could be dangerous, you know. But there's nothing wrong with coasting up to light stop signs or any other stops. You know, there's nothing wrong with it at all. For those of you that have a problem with that, then hey, that's your opinion, and you ride the way you want to, I'll ride the way I want to. You know, I've never dropped a motorcycle at all. I've been riding for 2 years. I taught myself how to ride on a bike, on the CBR 250R. I didn't take the MSF class. You know, I did study the MSF class online, and I read some, you know, a lot of information on how to ride a motorcycle and all. And it literally only took me 5 minutes to learn how to ride, and I was on the road on my CBR 250R. But like I said, I never dropped a motorcycle. The only time I ever fell was I low-sided on a scooter, which doesn't have a manual transmission. It's a CVT automatic transmission. And I was probably going a little too fast around the corner in torrential rain, and there was a lot of leaves and a sharp turn. And one reason I don't care for scooters, I love scooters, but the one drawback to it is you don't have anything between your legs, so you can't really gauge your balance that well on a scooter like you can on a motorcycle. So it happened all of a sudden to me, you know, on the scooter. But like I said, you really want to, if you see, especially in heavy rain, if you see a lot of potholes or debris on the road, you definitely want to slow it down when you hit the turn. But yeah, you know, yeah, I don't have a problem with you guys, you know, leaving a comment and maybe want to educate me on something, or you want to leave some constructive criticism. I appreciate that. The constructive criticism, that's great. You know, we can talk about it. But as far as just leaving a negative comment and talking smack, you know, and trolling, that's just, get a life, you know. And all I do is generally, you know, when you guys, which rarely happens, by the way, very rarely do I get, you know, any trolls. But if I do, I just delete and block you. So, I mean, don't waste your time. It's a waste of time to do that. But yeah, you know, getting back to the leader bike situation, you know, I won't rule out getting a leader bike, you know. Like I said, I don't need it, but that doesn't mean I may not get one. I may definitely get one if the Honda CBR 1000RR, if they redesign that and it looks really hot, man, I may be inclined to pick one up in the future. You never know. And like I said, I may end up picking up a BMW S1000RR. Who knows, you know? It'll probably be in addition to this bike. I don't plan on getting rid of this bike. But you never know. Hey, I said that with the CBR 250R that I wouldn't get rid of that bike if I got a bigger bike. But I ended up doing it. To be honest with you, I wish I still had that CBR 250R. Just to take long trips on and save money on gas and save on maintenance costs on this bike, the CBR 600RR. Like I said, the CBR 250R was a great bike, especially around town. The only part that was the negative with the CBR 250R was the performance on the highway. I mean, I could only max out at about 80 miles per hour on that bike on the highway, and it was very slow from like, I don't know, like 60 to 80. Very, very little acceleration. And so I felt like, you know, if there was a situation where I need to power out of, I couldn't do it on that bike. And I like to travel on the highway more often these days. Initially, I didn't plan on getting on the highway, but I enjoy getting on the highway, especially on this bike. I didn't really care for getting on the highway too much on the CBR 250R, but on this bike, man, it feels like a Cadillac on the highway. It's just smooth and powerful and just awesome. But yeah, if you guys have any questions you want to add to the conversation, you know, go ahead and drop me a comment. I appreciate it. I have my next video. I already have the video put together, but I just have to upload it, maybe edit it some more. As far as, I have a video that I'm going to be doing a review on a product called Cycle Wash. that's made by the original Bike Spirits company, and it's basically like a spray, a foam spray that you can cover your entire bike with to clean and degrease it, and then you rinse the stuff off, and then I'll tell you, it's a really great degreaser. It cleans very good, and it's awesome. What's awesome is you can put it on your tires as well. It cleans your tires really good, your rims. You can put it everywhere on the bike, and then you just have to rinse it off. And so I'll be doing a review on that. That's coming up in the works. And so, hey guys, that's really all I had to talk about today. So until next time,
I'll catch you guys later.